Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to the Nintendo NX discussion video. Once again, I have to apologize because of the crappy audio and of course not the normal videos that you will see. I am in Phoenix for work. I'm doing a ton of work here, so I just haven't had as much time and I didn't bring my laptop with me to edit videos and all that stuff like that. So I am recording off of my Kindle Fire Pro HD, whatever the heck you want to call it. So yeah, I'm just recording off there, so the audio is going to be a little crappy. It's not going to be my normal edited videos or how it's done. I am using the mobile version of the Power Director because you can see it right there. But I did want to talk about a few things today, just so I can keep some discussion going about video games, because that's what it's really all about here on PlayerEssence. So there's a couple things that you guys have heard me say. If you're one of my newer subscribers, welcome to the channel, of course. But features. I think features and just the extent of what the Nintendo NX is going to be very important. Look, you can argue NVIDIA versus AMD. You can argue any of this stuff all over the place. But if this system, Nintendo NX, does not have the features and the capabilities to not make it seem like so prehistoric, then, you know, there's going to be problems. Like, it needs to definitely be a system that when you turn it on, you feel like it's a slick piece of tech, that you feel that it's modern, that it's advanced. Like when I buy like this Kindle that I'm recording this on, this device feels slick, it feels modern, it feels just as good as a $500 iPad or whatever. It might be missing some of the features that it has, but it's competitive. It still has all those things. It's super fast response time, you can record, it has cameras, there's all of those things that you would expect from a modern device. Now, one of the things that my boy Active Sin says, Alex, he was like, hey man, like when the Nintendo NX launches, it needs to make sure that it doesn't feel so like old school, or it's not so old school, but it needs to make sure that it's like, it feels like a real next generation system. And what does that mean? Like on PS4, Xbox One, at any point, it doesn't matter what time you're on the game, you can hit that home button and you can automatically jump into any other part of the system. Wii U, not so much. Like there's times where it just won't even let you go into the actual system menu, and even then it's limited. And even then with that, they had to add different things and different items that you can go to slowly. The system was just purely designed by someone who just doesn't care about system features and things like that. So that's the biggest thing that I see. One of the things that I've been harping on, because it's just something that I just feel maybe a lot of Nintendo fans that are still Nintendo fans necessarily don't speak about enough. And I think that it's one of the big things that, like, if you're trying to sell tech, especially if you're trying to sell tech in this market, in today's market, you need to make sure that you have a system that meets the quality, like the minimum standards. Like, you can think about it, guys. Like, think about if you're buying like a TV. If you're buying a TV, some people go for like the cheaper TVs that don't have all the other features, but most people that sell TVs, if you want to sell like Samsung or Vizio and all that, you have to have a minimum like requirements of stuff that you would at least expect as far as features, as far as stuff that you can do on that piece of tech. And it seems like Nintendo sometimes just ignores even the basic minimum features that we saw on the PS2 and the original Xbox. We're talking stuff like an Ethernet port, you know, I'm pretending not even like with the OS, but just like the system itself. Like an Ethernet port, like a simple Ethernet port for people who want direct, fast access and not having to buy like a dongle, a USB dongle to plug in an Ethernet port, stuff like that. But also going like with the OS, just being able to do things that people have been able to do for a long time on other systems, especially starting with the Xbox 360. The fact that the Wii U was behind in system features actually gets bodied. If you want to be like honest, like the truth, like the Xbox 360 is a better, more fully functional featured system than the Wii U, which is horrible because the Xbox 360 came out in 2005 and the Wii U came out in 2012. The fact that it's behind as far as features and tech from that system, absolutely ridiculous. So that's something that Nintendo definitely needs to shore up. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about pertaining to Nintendo NX is like anime games. And I know this is kind of weird because I don't talk about anime games much, but many of you guys know, like I've talked about it before, I'm like a huge anime fan. I watch a lot of different anime. I like anime. But I think the biggest thing that was lacking, the Wii had this, like the Wii had Dragon Ball Z. It had so many different like games like that you could play on their anime based games, especially from those two franchises, and there was more. Whereas the Wii U, what anime games were on the Wii U? There were no Naruto games, there were no Dragon Ball Z games on the Wii U at all. All we had was like One Piece, and there's probably some other anime games that I don't know about, but the biggest one was One Piece game that we got, and it's even missing some of the other One Piece games. So that's not a good look for Nintendo, because I do think that anime games necessarily aren't the best out there, but people love them. Like, look at Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Like, that game is actually doing really well. It's doing well. There's another one coming out, Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2. That game sold well. Bandai Namco was one of the biggest, obviously, producers of the anime games out there, and they don't put anything out there on the Wii U. And I think that also hurt because a lot of people do love the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games. Those actually do well on PS4 particularly, and then it's also on Xbox One. But those games do well, and not having that is a big problem for Nintendo, in my opinion. So I do think that they need to make sure that they get those anime games. They have a fantastic relationship with Bandai Namco. They need to leverage that. They need to leverage that in order to get what they want. Don't think that it's not important, because the Wii had anime games. Like, the Wii had anime games that actually sold somewhat well. The Naruto Clash of Ninja games, Clash of Ninja 1, Clash of Ninja, I think they had Clash of Ninja 2, Clash of Ninja Revolution 3. All of those games did fairly well. I know some of them even broke 1 million units sold for that type of game. Like, it was just like a Tekken style, like 3D fighter ish that you can play on there, and but it did well. You know, it didn't have it wasn't anywhere near as in depth as Tekken, but it was that type of style of game, and I actually really loved it. I actually got really good at that game, especially Clash of Genkidou Ninja Tyson, which is the Japanese version. Genkidou Ninja Tyson 4. I used to play that all the time. Like, it's the Japanese version of the same Clash of Ninja Revolution, but those games always came out in Japan way faster than they came out here in America. So I would just like get the Japanese version and just do the whole thing, so where you can play Japanese games on your Wii through Homebrew. But yeah, man, it was awesome, and I think they need to really get back to that. I really would like to see them get back to having some of those anime games and push more people to buy the system that love those anime games, because there's people that literally sit there and play anime games all the time. I think they need to go back to that. So Nintendo, shore up those anime games, shore up those system features and those specs. Do not put out a system, you know, that people look at as just whack. Like, people look at as like, this isn't like real tech. This isn't even up to date. Like with the Xbox 360, don't put out something that people are just going to think just sucks right off the back. So hopefully Nintendo does do that. Hopefully they get those system features, those specs that we want. Hopefully they get those anime games that people want. I personally want the Ultimate Ninja Storm games on the Nintendo NX, so I'd really like to see them do that. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys big into anime games? How do you feel about the system features, some of the stuff that they need to add on there in order to entice more people to purchase the system? Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.